Hi, it's Nancy, and I am here in the homeschooling group, and I wanted to show you a little bit more detail on the worry worm. Now, if you remember, the worry worm I showed on Facebook Live this morning at 9:30, as I do every Monday, and it contains these, and these are the regular ones. You can have ones that are more sparkly, are the ones that we used. And then we chose to use kind of a medium-sized one for the head, and then chose the same color to use at the very end of the tail of the smaller, so that the pipe cleaner would not show. So what I did to make mine is you take a pipe cleaner, fold it in half, cut it, and then allow the kids to pick what color of pony beads that they want. If they're little, I think it's great for them to be able to do a pattern. We're doing green, green, red, green, green, red. And after they put about 3 of these on, you're going to want to stop and take the end, which is a little bit sharp because of that wire in there, and turn it around to thread it back in to the last one. Okay, and that way it's not going to hurt anybody. And then they continue on with their pattern, and I'm not going to do it the whole one, but this is great because it's little fine motor skills, right? So this is great for little kids. So they're going to put all of their beads on, and then when they get to the end, they're going to pick what color of these. Now, I tried to do different glue, and it didn't work. Even glue that said it would work on material, it didn't work. So when you get to the very end, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn this around to be like a little bit of a circle like that, and put this end again. I would put a little bit of hot glue on this time, and then you're going to push it in to the last bead, and then try to make a circle and turn it so that that will be your head. So you're kind of turning it up, and then you're going to glue your little ball right on top of there, so that's going to be its face. And then you're going to take your little eyes and put 2 eyes on there. And the very end, I would cover, because like when I was doing it, I only had red because we were doing something previously for Valentine's Day. And I didn't like the red sticking out of the pipe cleaner. So I took the small ball that matches the color of the head, and then I glued it right on the end. Okay. Now, the other thing is, you might notice that my little worms, they had little wires on them. And what I did is I took very thin floral wire, and I folded it in half. I scooted it right underneath here. I put it right underneath here, twisted it, and then folded it to make the little antennas. Now, if you wanted to get really fancy, you could also possibly put a little tiny bit of hot glue on the end of each one of those wires. And then when it dries, it'll be a little clear bead, kind of like that you could take Sharpie and you could color it. Now, these would also be very good if you wanted to attach a magnet, and you could have them as a magnet for your refrigerator. And you can buy those magnets at Walmart. You could also make a inchworm that actually had legs. And so to do that, you would just need to take another piece of pipe cleaner, cut it a lot shorter, and then in between your beads here, I would bring it up first and then twist it around so that it's tied on. Don't just put it over. And then you would create your little feet, so that eventually you would have these little feet all throughout your inchworm, and you would actually be able to set him down on his table, right? And so this would be great. You could have really big feet, whatever. Some kids want, to have a really big head on a small body. Let them do whatever that they want to do. But what is nice about that is that you could make it, if you have a subject that your kids don't like math, then you say, well, when you're doing math, then you can get out your math buddy, right? And the math buddy is the little inchworm. You can only have that on the table or on your desk while you're doing math, because he's helping you, right? If you think the worm is going to be distraction throughout the day. You could also put a little piece of paper with a little number. You could put little numbers on the worm and hot glue those on there. Or you could also have a bookworm and have a little piece of paper that they do, like a little fake book, and then the worm sits on the little book and you glue it onto the book, right? Or you could have little hands. Again, you can make little hands with this, and he could hold a little piece of paper that would be like a little book. There's all sorts of things that you could do with this worry worm. But again, it originally is to bring to people's houses anonymously. You ring their doorbell, you set it down, you run away, and it's to say, don't worry about anything. We're all in this together. We can't maybe be physically in each other's houses, but what a nice little sentiment for someone who has been locked in their house for a long time to receive a little smile for the day, which is your children making worry worms. All right, I hope that helps you and that you have a wonderful day crafting with your children.